You're about to listen to Tadpog. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Tadpog Podcast. We just had a good stinger, so everybody's laughing and smiling. I thought I'd roll right into it.
So stick around for that.
Yeah.
It's going to start out really good, and then in the middle, it's going to lull.
Yep.
But just like, and I don't mean LOL, it's like really, you're going to be like, what the fuck, man? And then just hang on, because at the very end, it'll get way better. The energy will be back up.
Yeah, you're right.
Here's all right, I'm making a prediction of how this show is going to go. It's going to be a really big energy, and then we're going to start talking about Super Adventure Island 2, and then that energy is going to jump off a cliff. And then it's going to stay there for a minute, and then we're going to take calls, and it's going to go back up.
Woohoo!
So let's just not talk about Super Adventure Island 2.
I'm okay with that.
This is our first from this point forward, we're no longer talking about games.
I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it either.
I wouldn't hate it.
Well, it would explain my constant fucking presence.
Ian's back. Hey, Ian.
Hey, how's it going? I live here now. This is actually my house now. I've been getting my mail here.
That's fine. You have squatter's rights then.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's very comfortable in here. I do not blame you for living here.
I just been...
God bless mysterious benefactor.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm going to just go ahead and say I'll probably be on a lot more.
Good.
Because, and you know, I'm happy to get into the games and stuff as much as anybody, but I got a little free time. Got a little get out of the house, please, from my wife, and this is the only place I know to come. So I'm going to just come.
I'm glad you're spending
Always
your time
welcome.
here.
Yeah,
You know?
man. Yeah.
You could be like out doing drugs.
Yeah,
I'll even get you your own shit bucket.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the meth.
Firehouse pickle bucket.
I'll put a Dale Earnhardt 8 on it and everything.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, bro.
You could do coils and AIDS.
Yeah. The meth here is way better than the shit you could get out on the street. It's that good blue stuff.
Yeah.
Keeps you coming back. Just like Dale Earnhardt's going to be back one day.
He's coming back. The second coming of Dale Earnhardt.
In pog form.
Yeah, Dale's back in pog form. That's great.
I mean, he's already over in...
Hey, Bart.
At Mike Miller Park, where they have the NASCAR Christmas lights. They do have
The NASCAR Christmas lights? I knew they did Christmas lights.
At the very end, down in the big parking lot, they have a big racetrack with all the NASCAR and all the numbers, and there's one pulled over with an angel halo that is 8 Dale Earnhardt's car.
dude,
Not joking.
That's hilarious.
If I ever want to get like laid super easy, I'm going there and sporting this tattoo, and I'm absolutely saying,
Yeah,
I
man.
don't want to ruin the stinger though.
He don't have the only 8.
It's a teaser.
It's a teaser for the stinger.
Man, that just makes me wish that that had because you were saying the end, there's the angel with the 8. I was hoping it was something like big lights that flash like God is a lie. Man, they are making some changes at Mike Miller Park this year.
All right.
I'm not sure if I 100%
God
on
is
board.
dead and we killed him.
I don't know.
And just pig heads on stakes.
According to the sign up the street at the church, it says the struggle is real and so is God. They're fighting back.
Yeah, they are fighting back. Yeah, shots fired.
Shit.
Mike Miller Park.
Mike Miller Park.
Get your shit
coming for
together.
you.
Just kidding. Your shit's fine.
What you guys been up to this week?
That's a good question. Playing some Super Adventure Island 2, I guess.
Yeah.
I played some, not much, I guess is my answer, what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, not a whole lot. Just, maybe I can send a quick text message and see if there's something I can talk about.
Well, I had an
Like
old...
get permission.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. You guys go. I'll send a message.
I had an old people moment sort of this morning. So it's time to rewrite you have to redo all the hospital policies for my department every 2 years. So that's due, and I put it off way too long. So now I'm doing just a shit ton of fucking boring ass, mundane office work, rewriting policies and redating policies and shit. So I'm just, and I've learned, like, I'll lead into more stuff, but I've watched a lot of games done quick YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like all my favorite
You've been sending me
SNES
messages,
RPGs.
yeah.
Like there's cool shit that they can do.
Yeah.
That I was like, man, that's pretty
Like
fucking
the
cool.
Super Mario RPG. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
that was the coolest thing, where you switch out characters when you're leveling up
Yep.
to like dictate what abilities characters.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. That's like some Game Genie shit.
Yeah,
is what that
and then
is.
all the kind of shit that you see. And I watched, Chrono Trigger today that had a lot of very cool shit in it. Like how you can like normally you can't unequip your gear in Chrono Trigger, but there was they showed where you could buy multiple ones, and if you go fast enough on this one frame, you unequip gear so you have nothing in that slot. If you take all your gear away, well, I guess the number overflows to where you basically have 90% elemental reduction to everything but fire for some reason.
So they do this in the beginning of the game, I'm assuming?
They did it starting at right before they skipped Zombor on the bridge.
Okay.
Then they did it.
Why wait? I wonder.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they didn't really talk about it until suddenly
They're doing
they did
it. Yeah.
Maybe you have to buy a certain item in that item shop after that. I'm not sure. But I talk about all these interesting skips you can do by pressing pause and running in and out of doors really quickly, and kind of you can make where you can save anywhere. That's pretty interesting too. But besides, I've been watching a lot of those and doing office work. I'm just sitting there at my computer. So I'm watching Chrono Trigger, just setting absolutely normal. I've got a good chair, just typing, and my neck was suddenly like, fuck you. My neck just suddenly just cricked the fuck out. Like it's still super painful. Like I had lifted something super heavy, and it's just fucked up for no other reason than just like old people settling my muscles and bones.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to find when I got up. So like I slept on it weird. I just my neck was like, we're not gonna do left today. We're done.
Okay.
Don't worry, man.
I just can't do it.
It totally gets better the older you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, I bitch as the youngest person here.
Things definitely get better in that department.
Especially if you're kind of sedentary and you don't get a lot of exercise and you kind of eat like shit.
What's that like?
Yeah.
But none of us understand that. I'm the youngest, yet also the fattest guy here. So that's where I catch up real quick.
I'm sorry about your neck. I hope it feels better soon.
Thank you. It's very weird sitting right here because it really fucking hurts.
It does look like
I
you're
didn't do
having to
anything.
move in a
Yeah.
totally different way to keep from turning your head.
Would you like to lie down? We can rig up an elaborate
Just
set.
hold it over me.
Yeah, we can mount it on the underside of the table. You could just do this under the table if you want.
This floor isn't nasty by any means.
You lay down and I'll hold the mic over your mouth.
That'll be, yeah, there you go.
Only I have to hold it with my
That,
crotch.
but so
if
that
that's
will
okay.
become erotic very quickly.
Or not quick enough.
Oh, Ian, you and that playful 8 of yours.
Ooh,
Thinking of my head.
that's what I call it. So,
What's up?
nothing.
How was your week?
It was all right, kind of uneventful. I've been going through Breaking Bad again.
Oh, so good.
God, it is still one of the most upsetting and wonderful
Yeah, it's
television
upsetting
shows
for sure.
ever. I'm on the final episode. I've been just watching
I
it.
am the one who knocks Skylar.
God
out. So
almighty.
good.
That line and the part where he walks in and throws that thing down and blows that building just to make
Yeah.
a point, like
Yep.
you don't know who you're fucking with. We always talk about, my wife and I talk a lot about that show and the impact it had. Because at first when it came out, I didn't really care to watch it. And Gage, my oldest son, insisted, you have to fucking watch that. And we went without watching it for, until like the start of the 5th season. We didn't even begin until it had already been on for 4 seasons,
Yeah.
right? We went through and binged it. And I'm in tears by the end, just like, because we got season 5 as well, obviously, at that point. And it was nuts. But watching it the second time, you get it's a different experience to watch it all the way through a second time. because you get a totally different perspective on all the characters that you may have either liked or disliked. And for me, that flip-flopped. All the characters that I initially was, especially the ones you're supposed to dislike, like the bad guys, I tended to be sort of on their team this time around. And the good guys were, Walter White was the problem all along, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
That's why he's in the. You missed the point by idolizing them starter pack.
Exactly.
Walter White's typically on that meme.
Exactly. And he's what you would call the
Tyler
anti-hero.
Durden and Walter
Tyler
White.
Durden, yeah, definitely.
Exactly. He's what you'd call the anti-hero, you know. And I knew that after we watched the show the first time. I was aware that he was a fucking terrible person.
Right.
I mean,
And that's the point.
it's the point.
Yeah.
But watching it from the very beginning with that knowledge, it is like rewatching Fight Club, where you sort of miss a lot of things that
The
you
first time,
didn't see
yeah.
the first time. So I've been binging through that, and what got me started.
Damn, you're a brave dude. I can't.
It's a hard one.
Man,
I
we
mean,
fucking binged that and I stopped.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, this show makes me feel bad.
It is bad.
Oh,
It is like
Oz is the same way, man. I had to watch Oz in like
We
just
watched-
2-episode chunks. I couldn't do more.
We
than
finished
stopped
season
Oz.
2 and then it was.
yeah.
man.
But before that,
I'll be a good boy, I promise.
Yeah.
before that, I had
Scared
committed.
straight.
I had committed to getting through Better Call Saul because I had started
So
it.
also, so
I've heard
fucking
that's really good.
It's,
I haven't watched
to
it.
me, Better Call
Yeah.
Saul is actually a better show than Breaking Bad.
I've heard other
I
people
agree
say
with
that
you.
too.
I agree
And
with
it's
you.
because it's not as hard to fucking watch, and you actually do because you know about
It's a
Saul
better,
Goodman
it's a better
from
character breakdown.
Breaking
yeah.
Bad. You are rooting for Saul Goodman for Jimmy McGill, excuse me, Slippin' Jimmy. You're rooting for him from day one, and you continue to root for him because you want to see him succeed, even though you know exactly what happens to him already. Getting his backstory is really cool. And
It
there's
shows
a-
at the beginning. It shows him working at the Cinnabon.
yeah. And every season, at the beginning of every season, you get a little bit more of his present day post Breaking Bad life, right? And there's still one season to come. It's coming out this year, and it's going to be the end of it. But you get the backstory for like the Salamancas and Gus Fring and all that stuff. And I went through that and got all the way as far as I could, which is to the end of season 4.
Because Mike Armentrout was one of my favorite characters
He's
in
heavy
all of
in
television
that show.
history.
He's
Yeah.
heavy in that show.
Love
And
Mike Armentrout.
I thought his end game was fucking awful.
Yep.
Again, Walter
Yep.
White. Thanks a lot, motherfucker.
Yep.
But not to turn this into a Better Call Saul podcast, but
Which is
just
fine.
to say I got through it, and it just made me want to rewatch Breaking Bad. So that's pretty much all I've been doing this week, and then I've been anxiously awaiting tomorrow on Netflix. The Masters of the Universe starts. The new Masters of the Universe series on Netflix.
The thing you said matches the shirt you're wearing.
I'm wearing my Masters of the Universe shirt. I used to love that show when I was a kid, and I've been looking forward to this reboot.
Who are all those characters? Because I'm not familiar with Masters of the Universe.
So there's obviously
He-Man.
He-Man and Skeletor.
So Skeletor is a Master of the Universe?
Well, he's the bad guy.
Oh, but he's standing next to He-Man like they're friends. Or the bad guys on the right
And I
and the
think
good
that's
guys on the
just
left?
He-Man saying, I'm not scared of you.
The opposite side of the coin.
That's Tila. That's Orko.
Tequila.
That's Beast Man.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see Yeah, okay.
That's Manny Faces. That I can't remember her name.
Bird Girl.
And then what's the name? I had it the other day. I named her
Oh, God.
this woman, the bad woman, Skeletor's
Skeletor's lady?
chick.
Skeletina.
Yeah.
No, well, no, I didn't come up with it. Tanya reminded me what it was. 'cause
Oh,
she
I was
used
about
to
to say, is this the thing you said on the show? Is this a friendship
no.
test? Remember, I told you the
that
name of
thing?
Skeletor's girlfriend. What is it?
His name is Trapjaw. This little guy up here.
Okay.
This guy is
Who's like
Ram Man.
Who's that Lobster Johnson looking dude at the
fuck are you?
next to fucking Lockjaw or whatever?
Trapjaw? This guy?
No, the guy with the. This is great. I'm podcasting, by the way. The dude with the yellow
Oh,
vest thing.
Merman. His Merman. Is
Merman?
his name. Yep. Mhm.
Lobster Johnson.
Nah, I can't remember some of these, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So Netflix is doing a Masters of the Universe?
It's like it's called, I can't remember.
Is it like She-Ra style?
Well, I think it's a little bit more adult oriented than the She-Ra cartoon that's been on, which I also kind of want to watch.
Is Dolph Lundgren in this?
No.
Did I say that name
it's
correctly?
It's animated, so
Okay.
no.
Oh.
I don't know unless they use his voice. Maybe they use his voice.
Is he alive?
He-Man. Yeah, he's alive.
They should use his voice.
They still use him in those Expendables movies.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a good character in those movies. But
It fits.
it does.
Yeah,
it really
fits
does.
based on his filmography.
But anyway, yeah, they're bringing back Masters of the Universe tomorrow on Netflix.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's it. A lot of TV for me this week, just in work,
Yeah.
which it's work.
We've been watching. I haven't been watching much. Nikki and I have been watching Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. So, like, that's been cool. It's a light anime that's like a romance anime, essentially about a high school BDSM relationship.
Okay.
Light.
Yeah.
So it's like when people were talking about it, I was like, holy shit, do you really want to watch this? Because like I've heard some shit, and we started watching it, and it's like, this is some tame ass bullshit, but it's still pretty entertaining. But yeah, it's still pretty entertaining because it got the like, it does have this wholesome quality. It's essentially about a girl that like antagonizes this sensitive guy, and it's like her friends are real shitty to him, but like she gets jealous whenever her friends give him shit. So it's kind of like it has a wholesome quality to it where it's like, yeah, she's real shitty to him, but you could tell that she really likes
She
him.
likes him.
Oh, so it's Melissa and I had just done our high school experience, but just animated.
Oh yeah?
No, she wasn't.
Were you mean to her?
No. She was mean to me. I'm the sensitive boy, Dave. We've got that well back there that we both go stare in.
Oh, before I forget, the reason I brought up Breaking Bad and stuff is I was going to say I have never seen El Camino.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to rewatch Breaking Bad so I could see El Camino because I never did get around to watching that one. That was actually where I was going with that earlier. Sorry,
And
didn't mean to cut into your
The
thing
Fixer
there, Dave.
died like
No,
right
it's-
after that came out.
Say what now?
The Fixer, the actor that plays the
Oh,
he died
really?
like right after it was done. yeah.
Dang. Oh, the vacuum cleaner
Yeah.
guy? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I need a part for my Hoover Model 12. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I got the go ahead. I'm looking for that come button in my butt. And
Hell yeah.
And man, I have not found it. Ian,
You gotta get up
I
in
went
there.
home and I told Nikki, I was like, I hope you don't mind. You said this on the show,
No,
so
go
whatever. But
ahead.
it was like Ian told me that like there's a button in there that makes you leak, and I fucking like really super want to leak. So let's find that fucking button. We looked for it. I didn't find it. But you know what? I feel like we're gonna.
You gotta
Yeah.
get. You
it was
gotta.
it was okay otherwise. Still.
Yeah, it was fine. I
Okay.
mean, it was fine. I mean, it was good. It was better than fine. It was good. I was just disappointed that we didn't find the button. I was like, I wanted to leak, Ian.
It's your prostate. It's up there.
Yeah.
I promise.
I know that it's up there because
you got to get up in there. I mean, you got to want it. And
I think she was a little more timid than.
got a hook. You got to do the. She got to
Do
do
the hook.
finger hook thing.
You gotta
It's
take
up there.
your heel.
Not too
and-
much,
and-
not
and
like-
tap her elbow. Get in there.
Yeah, like a climbing python. Is it?
Come on.
Let's get the job done.
Little hook.
Yeah.
Straight ahead. What is it? What does he say? Peter Pan. First star on the right, straight on till morning.
Nice. Yeah. No, I'll pass along those tips.
It's been a long time since I've experienced. I mean, long fucking time since I've experienced that thing.
Yeah.
But it's there.
I'm going for it.
It's just
We're going
I mean,
for
You
it.
can have a lot of fun in the meantime.
No, it
you
was
know?
great. I mean, it just didn't find it.
Didn't
But
find
it was
it.
like, can't hold on anymore.
Yeah.
That's not. That's still good.
So I was like, all right, there you go. We're done. But yeah, we're going to work on it.
Well, good.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it.
Congratulations.
I was happy with
on
how
your quest.
enthusiastic she was to reply.
Yes, please.
Sure. Okay, with an exclamation mark.
She's like,
Okay.
It's your ass. I don't.
Yeah, pretty
It's your
much.
butthole. You're not talking about my body parts. I don't give a shit.
Pretty much. Yeah. No, that is very much. That does make total sense.
But it's nice that you thought to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something I want like
Oh, I
people
know.
at work to talk about, but I mean, like
We've met.
everyone out there in podcast land,
They know.
whatever.
They know what's up.
They know that I want to find that button.
Anybody married and cool, it's fine.
Or just married. Like me. Oh, yeah. Looking for it. On the hunt.
Good.
One day, we'll find the right coordinate and my battleship will sink.
I'm not gonna say that maybe the destination is gonna be everything it's cracked up to be. But the journey
do that to me. Don't do. It's gonna be great.
But the journey.
It's gonna be great. No, the journey's been fine so far. It's not been.
Now, I'm sure there's a Linkin Park lyric I can quote to you about this.
It certainly hasn't been as I don't know, bad as I thought it might be.
There you go.
So it's like, all right, there we go. Completely unrelated, hard subject change. I have some trivia details. Backlog Banisher Dane is doing another trivia contest. There will be the prizes to this will be 3 Steam codes plus Big Dick Pie Baker's grand prize.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh, that's gonna be a
That's
good prize.
gonna be a good
That
one.
It
makes
can't come
something.
from him and not be a good prize.
That's gonna be a good one. So there will be an
It's
August.
a backlit Game Boy that also finds your prostate.
Man, if only.
oh, the dream.
If only. If
Yeah.
only I had a Game Boy camera, we'd found that fucker by now.
It plays the Tetris hot theme as it looks for it, and when it finds it, it's the sound of Mario dying in Mario Land.
Dying?
Yeah,
I thought it was like the P-wing sound.
that'll work too.
I imagine this is going to be a glorious thing, not a thing to lament. There will be an August 10th deadline. All questions are about frequent callers and contributures.
There's only one question. There's 2 questions, and it's Terrified Michelle and Beloved Adam.
Beloved Adam. The URL to that quiz is tinyurl.com/tadpogtrivia4. That is tinyurl.com/tadpogtrivia4.
There's only a place you could put that people could find it. I
Yeah.
got
The
it.
show
There
notes,
you
maybe.
go. There you go.
I thought you were going to say up my ass.
It might be up there.
Everybody, come out and find it.
Not
It takes a village.
Not everybody. If you want to invite everybody in your ass, that's fine. Just one person for me.
Fine.
For now.
Okay.
Come on, man. I got to work my way up.
The human rectum is chimerically elastic.
It's pretty forgiving, too.
You sound better than I do when Melissa's like, yeah, he's a pussy about taking shit up his ass.
Well, I mean, how did she? I mean, what did you put that sword thing in there? What was your when you were being a pussy about things going in your ass? Was it this butt sword that was going in there, or
No.
a finger, or
I
what?
think it was everything.
Everything. Well,
Everything.
no fucking wonder it hurt.
Well, not
You can't
everything,
put
not
everything in
at
there.
once.
Nightmarishly elastic.
Yeah.
We were putting that theory.
Rubik's
to the
Cube.
test.
Yeah, just because Patton Oswalt said it doesn't mean you have to test it
I'm
out.
gonna see if I can solve all the sides.
Another hard subject change
Yeah.
because you mentioned Terrified Michelle. Did a little requesting of my oldest son today
Yeah.
to help out because Dave and I both being
Both holding graphic yeah.
graphic design degrees.
I'm gonna say graphic disease, which is pretty
accurate,
much fucking
yeah.
accurate at this point.
are too lazy to fuck with
It
it.
does feel like a disease at this point.
We
yeah.
talked about doing a Terrified Michelle University T-shirt.
Right.
Go Cadavers.
Go Cadavers.
Go Cadavers. I told Gage doesn't listen to the show, but I did give him sort of the background.
He doesn't want to hear about his dad leaking? I don't understand.
No, God, I hope he never listens to that episode.
Shit, I
Usually
guess-
I save that shit for Patreon and I fuck around.
I'm gonna scrub what I just said because there is Henry started asking questions like when I was leaving
Daddy,
today.
where's the cum button?
Right. That's a front tail. Gotta go.
I'll let you know when I find out. I don't fucking know yet.
Jeez. You're gonna get your mom to work. If I do it alone, it's weird.
And I always get a Charlie horse in my shoulder. I asked Gage. I told Gage about Terrified Michelle and her calling in, and that she, works with dead people. And he designed a logo which
It's very
I think
academic.
is a very good
Yeah.
start.
It is. Yeah, it's good.
I think we need to tweak a few little fonts or typefaces and sizes and things, but I think the idea is there. I think it would make.
I like the
really
crest
good
with the
shirt.
toe tag on it
crest.
and the phone.
In
yeah.
one, should I describe this
Please.
thing?
Yeah, yeah.
One, so it's a crest divided into 4 sections,
Mm-hmm.
right? In one, in the upper left, there's 2 feet with a toe tag on
Yeah,
it.
it's beautiful.
The bottom right is a phone. It's just a phone, an icon of a phone, because she's always, calling. The one on the bottom left is phone cord, like from your grandma's old kitchen phone,
Right.
which I was surprised Gage put on there because
Those didn't exist.
I mean we have a phone like that hanging in our house,
Well, there you go.
but it's not hooked up.
He learned it from watching you.
He must have. And then, of course, in the upper right, it says TMU, and then the year in Roman numerals 2016, which Dave and I figured is probably the year that Terrified
She got
Michelle
the most
started
business?
calling.
No, I think that might have been last year. I'm not.
Might have been last year.
I'm not positive.
We think
but-
that's when she started calling. If Terrified Michelle,
okay.
if you can confirm the year that you started calling the show,
Yeah.
that would be helpful.
I think you're right. 'Cause remember the first time we heard Terrified Michelle was when we were in the bedroom, the first bedroom.
Henry's.
I was
bedroom
there
now.
for that.
And Melissa and I got married in 2016.
Oh,
Yep.
I see. I thought she called when we were recording in what's now Henry's bedroom, but maybe not.
And it
No,
was the
'cause
first time
I
because we
actually
laughed. Like, she
remember
sounds terrified.
being there.
I remember
was
saying that,
I
yeah.
think I might have been there on that episode because I remember
Yeah.
talking about her voice, and she said
kismet.
that's how she got it. So
I listened to her first call because that's how I found it. I went through the Google Voice and I was like, "What's the most?" I just did a search
Yeah,
for her
like
area
the
code.
oldest.
It's like, "What's the oldest one?" Let me tell. We should play it. I can't because I don't want to search for it again. But
next time,
But maybe next time
Or
because
get
it's
it
like,
queued up, yeah.
man, listening to it was like, wow. Is this really Terrified Michelle? There's no like howling in the background.
it's come a long way. But anyway, it says Terrified Michelle University in an arc over the top, and then
Yeah.
at the bottom it says athletic department, and then underneath that, home of the fighting cadavers.
And then the Latin.
And oh God, I did it, and I'll have to look at it now. Hang on,
Yeah,
let me
you
bring it
don't
up.
know Latin off the top of the dome.
I
like
did a
us.
They
search.
sing it at Final Fantasy VI in the opera theme.
I did
Right,
a
yeah.
search for a Latin phrase to put on this ribbon at the bottom. Mortui vivos docent. I don't know if it's docent or docent, but it means something like
The
the dead teach the living, which I think is very
No,
appropriate.
I love that.
Yeah, it's the dead teach the living.
It means Dale Earnhardt will never die. Asterisk, Junior.
But so I think we're off to a good start with that one. I think we can
Yeah.
maybe dress
Hell
it up
yeah.
a little bit and
Yeah.
get it on a shirt. I'll buy one. I was just telling Dave earlier, I only have the original album art shirt,
A lot of people are the same.
but $20 is $20, and I'm having.
Yep.
And I told him every time I think, "Fuck, I want to buy a shirt," I don't have any money because I'm broke as hell, and every time I have money, I don't think to buy a shirt. So it's kind of a vicious. I want a Soda Jerk shirt so fucking bad.
The Soda Jerk shirt's very nice.
That's
yeah.
very cool, and I also want a Dave Style chicken shirt. I love that shirt.
Yeah, that's a good one. that one gets me funny
will-
looks when I wear it.
That will probably be the next one I buy, unless we get a Terrified Michelle University up and
Yeah.
going anytime.
Hey, man,
soon.
you send me a file, it'll go up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for real. Yeah, send me a PDF.
I mean, if you're good with what he's,
I love the
done,
direction.
I think it'll be good. Just great big on the front.
Yeah.
Do any of your shirts have anything on the back?
No, because
Is it more
well,
to have double
They're
sided?
one of them has
one
the
of them
episode on
has
the back.
right the episode number on the
Oh,
back.
that's
yeah.
right. That's right.
But the rest of them don't, and it's because it's an extra
an
screen
extra
to print on the
cost.
back, and yeah.
Okay.
all that.
Well, we'll get that. Probably, I'll get him to polish that up maybe a little
Cool.
bit, and I'll get it over to you.
Cool,
We'll
man.
Make shirts,
Yeah, dude, awesome.
and that's thanks to Gage. He just did it. He didn't even. He's been working a lot on stuff just for fun, graphic design stuff.
Yeah.
He still likes it.
What are
Yeah, he's young enough where it doesn't.
He works in the industry. He works. He does websites.
I didn't know
and
that
stuff.
until I saw him on the competitor's site, and I was like, I know him.
And he's been doing these collage artworks.
Yeah.
I got to ask him where he's getting his material to put these. I hope he's not violating someone's copyright. I got to make sure he's cool with that because he's talking about selling these things. But he's just getting really good at this stuff.
Yeah.
He's getting really talented at it. And the fact that he just whipped this little thing up in half an hour just tells me he's going places. You know, he's learning it and enjoying his craft. And I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, man. Who was it who
sure.
just recently got, like, there was a game developer just recently got nicked for copyright infringement. I might have been like, God, this is fantastic podcasting. Someone got in trouble. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
That's the gist of it.
The what was the?
I don't know. I can look. I can look it up. I guess. Don't worry. Someone will message me. It's fine. they'll let me know.
Oh! I know. The other thing I was going to bring up again is a plug for Apes and Capes. They got y'all's little box thing
Yeah,
done.
they did.
I know. It's
cool.
fantastic.
And I'm gonna have to buy one of those too. And it's like, damn, that's T-shirt money, but it's really cool.
You should buy that because it's really super
Well,
cool.
and I do want to support Apes and Capes.
Yeah.
And buy something from them because that's really neat that they did that.
Because it's me and Tyler sitting around the Chrono Trigger fire.
Yep.
I think I'm face swapped with Frog and you're face swapped with
It
Magus.
should have been the other way around, but it's good. Yeah.
I mean, look, I like Frog too. You saying that I'm not Frog material?
Say, you're Magus material.
You're like Robo material. Come on, man.
I would have taken Robo.
Yeah, Robo's great. But then I guess you would have broken down because I believe in that scene. Robo, like, isn't Robo broken
My
down?
body's breaking down. Yeah, you're right.
You got
'cause
the neck thing.
Luca is cleaning
Luca's-
the
right.
sand and stuff out of him where he's been tilling the soil for 1,000 years.
So Apes and Capes on Etsy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, go there, buy his stuff.
He's got great
Their
stuff.
Is this
No, it's fucking amazing.
Gentleman?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's got great
I love
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Was it Nintendo?
Are we searching for the copyright stuff?
Nintendo issued a copyright claim to take down some raunchy Bowser Jr. art.
No, that's not
There
it.
was one where the guy that was selling ROMs got in trouble.
Yeah, big trouble. No, this was a game developer who had been running something like some piece in their. So they had been using some art, some copyrighted material since like 1995 or something. Yeah.
Shit.
So I can't remember who it was. because why would I? Because
Yeah.
why would I?
Right.
What would the colors be for Terrified Michelle University?
Well, so far the logo
Black
is
on
just
black, so the
and white.
the shirt is really hard to see.
It's like Metallica's Black Album. You have to hold it in a certain light to see the logo that's involved. That would
A little
actually be
spot
cool.
varnish on there. It'd be really good. Yeah, I'm not gonna look for the thing.
I'm just thinking gray with black.
Yeah.
Like your
like a heather
average
gray, kind of like an athletic,
an
kinda,
athletic
yeah.
T-shirt. Maybe can it be done in like a faded paint kind of thing, like a worn out, or is it?
That would have to be part of the design.
yeah,
Gray and
gotcha.
chartreuse.
Yeah.
Go Cadavers.
I don't want it to be
Good
ugly. I want to wear it.
Good ICQ colors.
Go, Cadavers.
If you remember that sound, your neck might be fucked up.
Yep. Yep.
Don't forget to take your ibuprofen. or-
Tilling those land like
Yeah.
Robo.
Yeah.
Just sitting at my fucking desk doing nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No, my back does that. What I'm worried about is that it's going to keep happening because my back does that for no reason in the same spot. And it's like, well, that's probably bad. That's probably a bad sign for years to come.
I remember John Turley, our friend, Captain Gun Nerd, who I actually asked if he could come out tonight, and he could not. So, hi, John. I'm going to tell a story
Hi, John.
about you.
Listening to us probably
This
at a
was-
McDonald's drive-through right now. Let's say something
probably-
like frog pussy to embarrass him.
He had just not. It hadn't been long that he started working at the company we both worked for, and this was probably 8-9 years ago. One day, his back just stopped fucking working, and he went down. And
Shit.
we were at a client site, if I remember correctly. I've never seen that man. He's tough. John's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I've never seen him just drop, and he was just howling. Had to take him to it ended up, I don't remember, he'll clarify it another time, but shit like that is not to be fucked with, is what I'm getting at. I get you the pain, man. Those little places, those things that you move so much.
Well, and the random one, like your neck, is just, it is the worst. Yeah. Because it is like, why is this happening?
There's no context.
Right.
It's like, did I hit it? Did I stretch too far?
Right.
You know, you're going through the list of your entire day praying to God that you don't have some chronic condition that just manifested for no fucking reason.
Yeah. It's like when you correct a dog, like, 40 minutes after they did something bad. And it's like they're trying to piece together, why pain? I don't understand.
I don't have that kind of memory. What's wrong with you?
Nikki does sometimes remind me of things, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why it hurts.
I get that too. Like I try not to bitch and complain at home too much because, you know, but anyway, if I wake up and my leg is on fire and I can't remember why, my wife will usually remind me.
Yeah.
Oh, you did, and I'm like, yes. And then I'm like,
Right, I know. There's a reason.
There's a cause. There's a cause.
We got a package.
We do have a package. You're right.
Speaking of a cause.
So here from one Master Mold.
Monster Mold.
Monster Mold. Outstanding foods, outstanding puffs, hella hot, addictively delicious snacks with benefits. So it look like Cheetos Puffs.
I like a snack with benefits.
What's the benefit? Like diarrhea? They do look like
You
Cheetos.
come.
It hits that come button.
Man.
Goes right into your
They are
colon.
tilted
and
just
pops
so.
right into
Right,
that.
they are correct. Just right, aren't they?
Got that.
Would you say that's the angle,
That's
Ian?
the angle.
Yeah, okay.
Like a Cheeto.
Okay. Nice. We want to open a bag now, or do you want to? Because we got like 4 bags there, right?
Good, there are 4 bags. You were correct.
You want to open one now, or save it for the totally coming soon in the future, probably
Can you
tasting video?
I hate to ask this question, and can you spare one bag?
Yeah, I mean, we got 4 bags.
Maybe to take home to Gage for his hard work on the
fuck yeah, dude.
Terrified
Oh, yeah.
Michelle shirt.
There you go.
He's really, he would, you know, you ought to get him to go on the hot stuff show with you. But
then he might
Patreon
start
episode.
He
listening.
loves hot.
Oh yeah. I don't want that.
I certainly don't want my son to listen. I get it.
Yeah, he does like hot stuff. He lived in Oregon briefly. He moved out there on a whim one year, and he was there for about 6 months. But he went to one of those places where they got the wing challenge, where you eat the fucking hottest thing in the world, a whole plate of it, and then they'll take your picture and stuff. And he did it. He did it. He said it wasn't that big of a deal.
Was it a lot of wings?
It was kind of a lot. So I'm wondering if it wasn't sort of a chicken nuggets type of situation, like when you ate the chicken nuggets.
The Chick-fil-A. They're like, yeah, you'll get your picture taken, but you will have violent diarrhea.
You'll shit the bed.
Uncontrollable violent diarrhea.
We're not going to tell you when we're going to take your picture, but you're going to get your picture taken.
Yeah, right. What's your address?
he did mention that
We need a key
was
to
a
your
side
house.
effect.
Nah, we're good. We'll get in. We're the chicken people. We can get in your house.
You see the logo on my shirt, you know what's up. But yeah, he likes hot stuff, so I'll take that to him.
Cool.
He'll think that's great.
Nice.
Well, do you want to talk about, just real quick, Super Adventure Island 2?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no possible way that I'm going to do this game justice. I hope that you guys can.
Well, I unfortunately I was watching someone play through it today on YouTube, just a video of someone, not even a person on the screen, just the gameplay.
Yeah. Like a long play.
Yeah.
Like World of Long Plays is a
Something
great
like
channel.
that.
I love that channel.
Yeah, it may have been that.
It's great.
But there was no overdub. There was no talking. It was just the game, right? I didn't, unfortunately, get to watch much of it because I got busy at work and I couldn't concentrate. But I did notice that at the beginning, what's that guy's name with the grass skirt?
Master Higgins.
Master Higgins.
Mm.
So it says at the beginning that post Super Adventure Island 1, Master Higgins and his love, they get married and they're going on their honeymoon on a raft in the ocean.
Like you do.
Like you do. And then there's a violent storm that rips them apart. And he washes up on the beach with no memory of any of the shit that just happened. And then she washes up on a different part of Poco or whatever island it was.
Yeah, find the dude that wants to poco her.
Yeah. Well, and
Master Higgins gets nothing. Oh, some dude's already rolling up on that shit.
And what's the
The
fucking
king.
problem?
Yep.
The problem that I have is that she remembered everything, and she shows up and is like, "Well, I guess
Oh, I
he's
thought
dead."
she did remember everything.
No, she has amnesia too.
Does
doesn't
she have
yeah,
amnesia? Oh, maybe I'm okay.
They both have amnesia, and she gets engaged to the king.
to the king,
'cause
and
it-
then
right.
the bird comes and takes her away.
Yeah.
And then Master Higgins manages to find the castle.
Yep.
And ironically, the king asks him to find her.
Right.
And he doesn't even know that he's looking for his wife, he was straight about to be cucked.
His
by
brother,
the
his
king.
brother husband.
Yeah. He's about to be straight cucked by the king
Yeah.
that took his fucking wife from him. No fault of the king. He didn't know.
What is that?
But still, man.
Primus noct. What is the
Prima nocta.
prima nocta?
Oh, where the
Yeah.
king gets
He gets
Yeah.
first dibs
He gets
on
to
the-
sample the goods before. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he was about to prima nocta.
Who thought that was a good
woman.
idea?
The king.
The king.
He was about to prima nocta this woman, and she gets picked up by a big bird.
I love it as a verb.
She prima nocta the fuck out of her.
That bird. that's the bird of the sanctity of marriage. That swooped down
Saving you from sin.
yeah.
And
It plucked her from
Hellfire.
the burning flames of hell.
exactly. And so I watched some of the gameplay for about 5 minutes, and then I had to stop. So I wanted to be more prepared, and that's as far as I got.
I wanted to be more prepared too because
I'm pretty fucking prepared.
good.
Because you are the savant, the Adventure Island.
You are the
I,
super
I
savant.
tried something different with this game.
Okay.
But I got first, Dave. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that. It sounds like the buzzard of the sanctity of marriage. Look, it's dropping an iPhone into my hands.
All right.
And,
Next shirt design:
Look.
Buzzard of Sanctity.
of course, I hear that, which ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Guys, Super Adventure Island 2, or as it's known in Japan, Takahashi Meijin no Doboken Jimatsu, which literally translates to Master Takahashi's Great Adventure Island 2, is a Super NES video game by Hudson Soft. Unlike most of the previous games, it is a platformer with action-adventure elements that encourages exploration.
Wait, though, right there. I got to
Okay,
stop you.
put a pin in that.
Isn't that what the first one was?
No,
It was a platformer, right?
It is a platformer, yeah.
Is it the exploration bit that's different?
right? Because
Okay,
there's
okay.
no exploration in Super Adventure Island, but there is platforming. It's just straight platforming. You finish a level, you go to the next level.
Gotcha.
And Super Adventure Island 2, you need to figure out where you need to go next. And then once you figure out where you need to go, it kind of turns into like a Metroidvania where you have to explore that level. And you do platform through that level, but it's definitely using like Metroid kind of.
You're looking for
tropes.
stuff. and
You're looking for stuff to unlock other
clues to get
areas.
to-
and-
okay,
yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
And then also they tie in RPG elements to it because you'll find equipment that you can equip, weapons and armor that you can equip.
God, I
find
hate that
mints
fucking
that you
equipment
can
that you
equip.
can't equip.
So there's that. And also as he adventures, there are like heart containers like in The Legend of Zelda.
Is this a food-based one too?
It is not a
food-based
food-based
potion,
one.
yeah.
And that is that.
You're right. Their fruit is so big in all the others.
That
but
is
not this one.
weird.
Because that was what kept.
Yeah.
You had to keep eating to
Right.
stay alive, right?
And that's gone in this one.
There were
There's-
plenty of jokes about how fat Master Higgins is, though.
in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed.
Oh,
those.
yeah. All sorts of them. Like at the ending, they're calling him Fat Boy and all sorts of shit.
wow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Is the king just
hey man,
upset?
my metabolism plateaued. Back the fuck off.
I think the king's just upset that he got preemptively prima nocted.
He got prima nocted.
Let's see. This game encourages exploration similar to the later Wonder Boy games, and there was a Wonder Boy game that just came out recently that is kind of similar. I hear. I haven't played it, and that's pretty much it, man. There is not a lot. There's not a big Wikipedia article on this game. Though I played it. I made it to the third island, which is the Fire Island. And not that Fire Island, a different one. And I essentially couldn't get past the boss. I streamed it, and then it's like I got to the Fire Island, and then like later I was like, okay, I need to finish the stream. I'm gonna finish this game later because I'm really enjoying it. I want to play more of it. And then when I went back to it last night, I got to the boss of that stage, which was a turtle, Gamera, essentially, because I mean he even comes flying in like with jets out of his turtle sockets, like Gamera does, and does the whole spinny deals. Except I haven't watched a lot of Gamera. Does he spit smaller turtles out of his mouth, or is this explicitly Super Adventure Island 2?
I can't answer that. It sounds pretty specific.
I don't know. But anyway, I got to that boss and like could not figure out how to beat it. Like I must have been like I fought him at least 4 times and was like, this is taking forever. I'm
What
doing
sword did you
something
have?
wrong. And I figured, I was like, if I keep doing this, I need to switch from the flame sword, which I had, to like the ice sword or
Ice sword,
something.
yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It takes 10 passes to beat him with the fire sword and like 3 with the ice
Yeah,
sword.
I would have been able to do it with the ice sword, but
Lost your wood.
didn't think. Yeah, unfortunately, didn't think to do it.
So, leading to me earlier mentioned how many of games done quickly I've been watching. There is a games done quickly for this game where somebody
Yeah.
beats this in like 48 minutes.
I did look up the speedrun time on it, and yeah.
I saw a task for like 41 minutes, which I mean, it's fucking impressive. But I saw you play it on Sunday, and there were a lot of moments like, where the fuck am I going? Because
Yeah.
there's very little indication. The maps are very kind of bland. You're just going from one name that ends in an A and has,
It repeats.
Puka Puka
Puka,
Waka
Puka,
Waka,
Waka, yeah.
Weenie Weenie Island.
Right.
Like, and it's all just, I mean, there's like a winter one, but they're all just,
They're different biomes.
Yeah. but it's all like, and you can just walk into rooms that are empty and then you're not sure what you're supposed to do. So I was like, okay, well, Dave dealt with that.
I did read the instruction manual, and sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but that totally helps a lot, because like if you went into this blind without reading the instruction manual, you would have a bad time.
Yeah.
because nothing in the game is explained to you.
Nope.
You can talk to the king, and the king will like give you a hint. Like he'll tell you, the king will be like, "All right, you need to find this island," and then like you can go to the innkeeper and pay 100 gold and sleep. And when you sleep, Tina, your wife, shows up in a dream and essentially gives you a hint. So you got like those two things to like work with.
Yep.
Outside of that, like the empty rooms with the springs and stuff, and it's just like, well, if I didn't have the manual, it would have been like, I have zero
Yep.
clue what the fuck's going on. here.
So what I did was I played it on my phone and I tried to follow the speed run and just save scum the fucking shit out of it to follow the speed run and get through as much of this game as I could without having to get confused and frustrated. And they were talking, of course, giving commentary as we went.
Yeah.
I got pretty far doing that. It took me fucking forever because the basic platforming I get. It was some of like the damage boosting and shit that I couldn't do, and I kept fucking.
Well, yeah,
up
I mean,
and-
there's speed running tricks. Those
yeah. And
are hard to do.
I am not a speedrunner. I think I'm pretty good at action platformers, but
Yeah.
some of that was hard. For the most part, I was able to get pretty far, and I skipped, of course, a lot of content doing that. So I went through and tried to find stuff I missed. But as I played it, holy fuck, this game is such an enormous to the point I'm like, holy shit, how did Nintendo not come after them?
Oh, because he looks like Mario.
Oh, no. This is Zelda 2. This game is a 16-bit Zelda 2 to the point he has a sword with an up thrust and a down thrust, and he gets the magic wand to cast all the spells like Link can. The potion bottles for your magic are the exact same fucking design. Potion bottles, hearts like Zelda, like the weird obtuse puzzles and shit you have to do. And I mean, this is Zelda 2.
So you loved it.
I liked it, but I got frustrated with the fact they just stole shit from Zelda 2.
I see.
So heavily handed.
Well, and Master Higgins looks the most like Mario that he has ever Mario.
And
in this
Luigi,
game.
if you there's green armor you can get where he looks just like Luigi. Because I feel like it steals This game it's based as Zelda 2 with a hodgepodge of a bunch of different games on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like it. I had fun with this, but it also pisses me off that this is just one big stolen puzzle game, like puzzle pieces, like 100%. There's not an original idea in this fucking game.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I've never played Zelda 2, despite us doing an episode on Zelda 2. So like, I didn't catch any of that stuff in Zelda 2. Do you have to do you start with the upper thrust sword?
No,
and
you have to go.
So just like in this game,
Yep.
there's special
Someone
abilities.
has to go teach
you
them
have to
to
talk
you.
to a hermit, and the hermit then, because that's how you do
Yep.
it in a Super Adventure Island 2.
Yep. So
it
that's
is
exactly what you
the
do.
same.
Exactly what you do. You go hunt for. There's just not experience points and levels, but you have to go hunt for money. Like all the same shit is in here. Even Turtle Rock. You know, that's always the big dungeon.
I know
in all the
that from
Zelda
Smash
games.
Brothers. Yes.
So the design that you have to go through for or whatever the mountain is, there is the exact same segment in this game. Because in Zelda 2 you go through a little maze of falling in holes, one right after the other. You do the exact same thing. It is almost like a carbon copy of Death Mountain. That's it. It's a carbon copy of Death Mountain from Zelda 2.
Wow.
So
And even you in Zelda 2,
is that with all the whirlpools? Is
Yep.
that like the raft segment where
it
you go
is,
like?
yes.
Okay.
that is Death Mountain.
Because I saw
Zelda
that on
2.
the map. I didn't make it that far in the game, but I did see that in the map. And
It is.
having not played Zelda 2, that didn't make that connection at all.
You wouldn't, but it is a 100% straight up ripoff.
do you think that you're the first person to catch this?
Probably not.
Because it would be neat to see someone do like a side by side of Zelda 2 and Super
there's
Adventure
so
Island
much,
2
yeah.
to see, to kind of reinforce what you're saying. I
Yep.
mean, just to say, look, this is the same fucking game. They took the code and reskinned it.
Take the same controller input, split it.
It's
Yeah.
even when you're exploring in the overworld. The overworlds look similar, again, and when in Zelda 2, granted in Zelda 2 you can see your enemies. They're not random encounters, but overworld map you're walking. Like
I would
you
have
do-
preferred that.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the random encounters in this game because you go from island to island on your raft and it's like Final Fantasy VI style. You'll just and you'll be in a battle
And you only do it on the overworld map.
And you do
like
it right.
that.
Yeah,
just like Zelda 2.
I saw when the guy was on his raft, like heading for his first objective, it would take him out of the view of the map, and you're fighting
Into
like
a fight.
fish that are
Yeah.
popping up.
And
or
that's-
See,
something.
and that's in Zelda 2, whenever the overworld map, if you run into one of those enemies, it flips to a sideways view where you go left or right for a little while with a few enemies, you go off and you're back on the overworld again. Exactly the same raft shit in this game. Like
wow.
it is
Wait.
so ripped off.
Yeah. So in Zelda 2, there's a segment where like Link is on a raft as well, or is like the raft at
The,
least
the
like
raft is just that's the gimmick
right? Okay.
that they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious because I mean, like that would be like I feel like it's
I don't think there is, but like there's just where it's just you suddenly
Instead
go
of walking, you're
to
on
it-
a raft.
Instead of walking on a raft, yeah, and it's
I-
enemies dropping down and kill them, and they drop hearts and.
Well, see, I didn't
Yeah.
like this. And like at least in like Zelda 2, you get experience.
Yep.
I hated the random encounters in this game because all you get is
also find heart containers in this game.
right, right. Well, yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. That it's like I didn't realize. Like to me, the only like connection between this and Zelda was like there's heart containers. There's heart containers like Zelda. That's cool. But yeah, no, I didn't know any of the other stuff.
Instead, in level 2, you get your heart containers and your magic by leveling up, and you can either choose, like heart, magic, or attack.
That's how they do it in Breath of the Wild too, where you get to
okay.
pick between.
Health and stamina.
Yeah, you get either more stamina or more health.
Yeah.
and you can never have max of both. But yeah, that's kind of that way too. So
Yeah. In this game, you just find it, but otherwise, man, there's so much shit. And of course, yeah, you're right. He looks like Mario. He looks like
I mean, the hat
Luigi.
is like Choctaw. Even like when he popped in stream, he was like, "Why has he got Mario's hat?"
So
Like,
he gets samurai armor, where he's covered in red or covered in green.
Right.
I only saw those two. There are more armors. You can get multiple weapons, shields, and armor. Because I followed the speed run, so I only got the red armor, the green armor, the silver sword, the fire sword, the ice sword, and I think it's the crystal sword.
There's really not that much, honestly.
And
like,
the axe. You get the
you can-
axes.
and there are throwing daggers as well, and boomerangs.
Okay.
So the staple weapons are in the game, which is good because it does feel weird playing an Adventure Island game swinging a sword. that's how I played it because it's like, fuck these knives and axes. I mean, this is bullshit. No, this is where hitting things with the sword is where it's at. Apparently, as it is in Zelda 2.
And Zelda 2, granted, it is more obtuse than this game, but Zelda 2 is a better.
It's also a much older game.
Yeah, it's
right?
an 8-bit game.
But it's better than
they got
this.
twice as much to work with, right? It sounds to me like they were working on developing this game, and they had a Nintendo pressure gauge, and they just watched that needle as they continue to copy. And as long as that needle didn't get in the red, we're going to be okay. We've got just enough here to not have to develop anything.
Well, yeah.
But they made their own little additions here and there to make it just different enough.
Well,
is
it's
what
also,
sounds like.
it gets clouded because it's like, well, shit. Like, if you follow that back, I don't know the answer to this, but if you follow it back, because Adventure Island is a side shoot of Wonder Boy. So, like, Wonder Boy was an arcade game that, God, I think Sega did, but I'm not 100% positive. Don't quote me on that. But when they were porting it, they ported it to systems, and then Hudson Soft was like, yo, we want to put this game on the NES. We want to port it, but we're going to call it Adventure Island. Okay, so they made a deal. Adventure Island on the NES. And so, like, the Adventure Islands on the NES were all just straight platformers, like Super Adventure Island 1 was. And then they got to this, which is comparable to what the Wonder Boy series had turned into by this time. So it's like, I'm curious. I don't know how the timeline shakes out, but like, who did it? My question now is, who did it first, Zelda 2 or Wonder Boy? My guess is Zelda 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That might be something that is worth looking into because I had no idea that this game was so close to Zelda 2.
And I think the fighting mechanics of Zelda 2 are much better. Because
Really?
this is it reminded me, and it's nowhere near as difficult, but to me it was Rogue Legacy reminiscent in the enemies with their patterns, jumping up, slashing your sword, very, very basic. But and the enemies in predictable patterns. I didn't think it was, very hard. It was just obtuse. But even the bosses. Okay, so yeah, just like Zelda 2, the people teach you for 100 gold. They teach you how to push a rock, that's not in Zelda 2. You have to get a hammer to break a rock in that game.
Gotcha.
Then you can pay someone to teach you the downward thrust, and someone to pay somebody to teach you the upward thrust. Speedrunners apparently don't do either of those. The king give you 100 coins. You go straight to the guy who teaches you how to push the rock. That's all you use money for. You don't touch money again, because if you hold down Master Higgins and side to side, he can slash both ways very quickly, which is very good on the final boss. So they don't learn either sword thrust for that reason. But the bosses, okay, so it's like, all right, we took a lot from Zelda 2. All right, do we want to do the three-headed dragon from Zelda? No. What's something different? Put Wispy Woods in there. Make him the first boss.
Hansy Woods.
Yeah,
He totally looks like Wispy Woods from Kirby, but like his crackhead cousin. Like
he's also enjoying the blue meth.
yeah.
Yep. He's the I guess the chieftain of the first island, and chieftain of the second island is an icy mammoth who the mammoth himself is still, and he has his nose that moves up and down.
Because he's caught in ice. He's
Yep.
frozen in ice.
And you hit him in the eyes with your sword. His eyes go kind of
Red.
and that's. But that enemy looks so much like bosses out of Joe and Mac, like that the cartoonish design, how they react. It looks just like a Joe and Mac boss. Then after that, the Rocket Turtle. I've never played this game, but people on GDQ kept saying how this was a ripoff of a boss you fight on the way to Dr. Wily's castle in Mega Man 7. Like, exactly the way he turns the rockets and throws his babies at you. Like, it is 100% taken from Mega Man 7. There's the octopus, which I don't remember finding him when it's sort of like the octopus, but he has one tentacle out, and then his body, and you hit the tentacle, and his sort of head comes up so you can hit his eyes, and he's vulnerable. So that's the trick where you press down and side to side, so you're constantly hitting the tentacle, so his defenses stay up, and you just mow through him. Then there's a mummy. The mummy looks just like a Castlevania boss, because it's just a mummy that floats down that you just pepper with your weapon until it's gone. An eagle who functions just like Storm Eagle in Mega Man X.
Is this the Buzzard of the Sanctity of Marriage, or is this a different? Is this a different avian raptor?
I don't know. It's a good question. It probably is, and of course, it also throws its babies at you.
Of course, that's a trope. Yeah.
And then the last one, the boss. In his first form, he looks like Agaham from Link to the Past. So he just throws. He has these orbs that float around him. You have to jump between and just hit him. And then in his second form, it's weird. You have to go to the moon and you fight this eye with a scorpion tail on the moon.
Like you do.
Yep. And then you fall back down, and Tina not in cutscenes is a brunette, and then in cutscenes she is a blonde.
So there's an issue with that as well because when Hudson Soft was like, we're gonna port this shit for the Nintendo systems, one of the stipulations was that they had to change the names, and they forgot to do that in this game, I believe, because she's like supposed to be Jungle Jane, I think, and in the instruction manual it references her as Jungle Jane, and I'm not an expert on this shit. I'm like a Wikipedia expert, so it's like that I know not I barely know anything more than anybody else in the world, especially at this table. But it's like it's one of those where it's like, yeah, that's weird that you call her Jungle Jane in the instruction manual, but in the game it's Tina. So, and then they try to backtrack and be like, Jungle Jane's like her sister.
Because this game is Metroidvania, in which like you go on an island, you beat like a mini boss, you'll get a stone, you take a stone to a shrine, and it opens up, lowers a barrier reef that you can then take your raft to another section where you rinse and repeat. There are also Mario style like a switch palace in Mario, where you'll hit the switch and blocks that you can see but can't jump on now can become usable, and you can progress wherever or get to different items.
Yeah, because you pull those switches and right.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only difference is like you can also turn them off. So sometimes if you get far enough in the game, there's one section where there's a secret that is covered in blocks that you from a switch way earlier.
Need to backtrack.
So you have to go back, turn it off, go back, get the secret, go back, turn it on again.
And that kind of works with like the stuff, the special abilities you get from the hermits too. Because as I was going through levels, like there are clearly areas where it's like, oh, if I had the upward thrust, I could break through these rocks and get that chest, but I don't have it yet. So I guess I'm intended to come back and do that.
Yeah. Because
Which
you
usually
get a
bothers
shovel
me.
as well. A shovel is a tool that you can dig through like different kind of rocks. Of course, you get the armor. Shields. The shields kind of suck because they're not usable unless you're standing still. And this game is like a kind of a
Is that how they
fast-paced
work?
agility. Yeah, you have to stand.
Because I never.
You have to
yeah.
stand completely still, and then you can deflect something.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I do like how when you would put equipment on, your sprite would change.
Yeah.
That's super. I feel like that's very rare for the Super Nintendo.
It is.
Like, I don't remember that even being a thing. Granted, I didn't play a whole lot of games like role-playing games outside of like Final Fantasy and stuff. But I don't remember, like, I remember playing Diablo for the first time and being like, holy shit, you put armor on and it shows up on your character? Wow.
Yep.
Little did I know that Super Adventure Island 2 had done
ahead
it
of
in
'em, yeah.
1993.
Yep. Because you get the magic wand and you cast all sorts of spells that heal yourself. You warp around the island. The hot springs heal you, but are also warp points for you to warp back all over the island.
Oh, I didn't realize they were warp
So
points.
that's what speedrunners do that. So once you find the hot spring, and then you can cast. It takes 4
there's
potion
a spell
bottles.
that you have to use.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I only got as far as getting 2 potion bottles.
Yeah. So you have to get that, and you have to get the spell, and I mean there's a lot of mechanics, and then every speedrunner says there is a 100% category for this game. No one runs it because the casino fucking sucks.
Yeah, I read in the instruction manual about the casino, and it says even in the instruction manual, it's like you're going to need a lot of money for the casino. Did you fuck with it at all? Or?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Don't even know where it is. I followed the speedrunner guide, and they were like, "Fuck that, we're not doing
Yeah.
it."
Is that
Because it's completely random, and you have to hit the super jackpot twice.
what is it?
in order-
Slots or something?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yes, it probably sounds like it. You have to hit the jackpot twice to get like the light sword or
Gotcha.
something like that.
Yeah, it mentions that you need to do it in order to get a sword.
So if you want 100% completion on a speed run, like you just have to get
a lot of
tremendously,
RNG.
overwhelmingly fucking lucky.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently no one runs it. No one fucks with the casino. It's not fun.
Sounds like there's an opening in the speedrunning market.
It's true.
Right? Do it slow.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You can have a world record for a minute.
Right.
But really, I mean, it's a fun game. It just pisses me off a little bit that it's a ripoff of a game that I love.
Do you think that this game is a hidden gem? Because that is definitely it definitely has that moniker, like that title. This is a hidden gem game. A lot of people say.
I mean, if I didn't love Zelda 2, I would absolutely play this. Be like, man, this is fucking great. I don't know where I'm going most of the time, but this is fucking great.
Well, how did this thing do? I mean, was it popular? Was it?
It is a very rare game. No, I'm sorry, a very uncommon game. So it had that means it had a limited run in 1993, which is 2 years after the SNES came out. So I don't think they had a lot. I don't know the development history of this game. My guess is that they didn't have a lot of faith in it, or they didn't have the.
Did they maybe they didn't market it well enough? Because it seems to me like if Super Adventure Island was somewhat popular and somewhat well received, that people would sort of be lining up for the second one. You know,
Super Adventure Island's a common game,
right?
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know the reason, but I do know that like when I was done streaming, it just so happened there's another streamer who I like, Shroomy. He was streaming it. And it's like, fuck, well, of course we're going to go over there. So we went over there, and he was like, you know, usually when you raid somebody, they're like, how's it going? What were you playing? And I said Super Adventure Island 2, and he was like, are you shitting me? No one has heard of Super Adventure Island 2.
That's
I was like,
crazy.
Yeah. So
I have a computer program that randomly throws out Super Nintendo games, and that's what it gave me.
I just got done with Street Hockey 95. Let me tell you about that.
Actually,
we know.
That was actually it was Ross's Black Magic that got us on Super Adventure
Yeah,
Island 2.
you're like, can't be a thing.
Right.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. Yeah. And hey, I did a little bit of research. This is kind of wild. So Zelda 2 came out in Japan. It came out in 1987, January 12th. Okay, and so I was watching some gameplay of the second Wonder Boy game, Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Because I was going through and I was like, which one of these is kind of where it is most like Super Adventure Island 2? And it is in Wonder Boy in Monsterland, which came out in July of 1987. So 6 months after Zelda 2. And that's this was an arcade game. So it's like 6 months after, we're already like, okay, yeah, this is a good idea. We're going to do this. And then, meanwhile, years later, what was that? 6 years later, Hudson Soft's like, oh, yeah, we're going to do that too.
Everybody hates that too. Let's do the 16-bit version now.
Right.
People love it.
So it's like, I'm so glad that you have like as much knowledge about Zelda 2 as you do, because you know, like Death Mountain, we know what it is a ripoff of. Because it's
Yeah,
like
that might have never been figured out. Like, you never have that comparison to make. I wouldn't have known either.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah, 100%. I remember I saw it on coming up the speed run. I was like, God damn it. They just everything.
So yeah, it's interesting how like all those games kind of have a weird relationship and incestuous DNA.
Yep.
They need a buzzard for that.
Yeah.
We got the holiday armadillo, the buzzard of the sanctity of marriage, and the buzzard of what would you say?
Incestuous
DNA.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that buzzard might get elected into office. So let's not make
let's
that
not
buzzard.
do that. Let's not do that.
COVID's a lie.
Oh shit.
That's what it screams as it
Fuck,
flies down.
It's the vulture of denial. Jesus Christ.
It snatches the masks off of people.
the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Don't be a cock. Snatch masks off of people.
I liked Super Adventure Island too. I thought it was a nice game.
I like the music.
Yeah.
I had it on my nice headphones when I was listening to it on my phone, and had really neat tunes, little, good stuff to have going in the background.
Yeah, it slapped.
It really slow.
I liked it. It bopped. I liked.
Slaps buses.
Yeah, man, wow. Shit. I thought it looked really good too. The sprites are very pretty.
It was a good-looking
It's
game, too.
colorful. It is a good-looking game. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. And I don't have the Zelda 2 knowledge, so it was all new to me. So to me, it was like, well, shit, this is a novel idea. I love this.
Well, maybe you should play Zelda 2 now. You know?
Sorry. I think I would rather play Wonder Boy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I liked it.
I'm with it. I'll replay Zelda 2 on the Zelda Anniversary Game and Watch.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah.
I never played that one. I never could get it. I was just a real big fan
I had to
of the
go
first
step by
one.
step on a guide.
Yeah.
You have to. It's so fucking obtuse.
Okay,
And
it
there
is.
are
It's-
translation errors that almost make it unplayable.
Well,
it's
it's-
really hard to follow.
it's tough.
But
Castlevania 2 style.
yeah.
I
yeah,
thought that it was-
100%.
Graveyard duck. Yeah.
I just thought it was really difficult to make the transition from the original Legend of Zelda to that.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I was pumped. And then I think I rented it. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm
the
supposed
fuck
to
is
fucking do
this?
here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I never did play it.
Because you don't go into a dungeon and it say level 2, level 3, like
Right. Yeah,
All
I mean,
that
I
shit's
wouldn't
gone.
know. I
It's
didn't
super
get
obtuse.
that far. So, yeah, it like right out of the gate, I was confused and put off by the whole experience.
I can see where it's not what you expected and you're put off. Yeah,
But on that
it's
other-
absolutely the dark horse of the Zelda series.
Yeah, on the same note, I know a lot of people who have a lot of love for it. So maybe, you know, it'd be worth a shot.
I did not expect to love it.
Yeah.
I figured it would be because whenever I was like, I want to beat all the Zeldas, so I sat down and I beat the original. I was like, fuck, man, that was great. I still will sit down and play the shit out of the original. Still so fucking good.
It's a great game. And they're talking about with the 35th anniversary, they just re-released Skyward Sword on the Switch.
I was thinking about.
Yeah,
getting
I
it.
don't think I'm gonna get it. I never played it on the Wii.
I did play it because I
missed
didn't want
it
to do
too.
motion
I
controls.
didn't want to do the motion. There's a way now you can play it without motion control, which adds to it for me. But really, what I'm looking for, and I'm hoping that the rumors are true for Zelda, that they're gonna do a thing like they did with the Super Mario 3D All Stars. There's talk about a Zelda one coming with probably Ocarina, which I mean, I don't know that I'll play through that one for the 5th time, you know, but Wind Waker, which to me, besides Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda. I love that cell shading. I love that.
It's timeless. It's fucking wonderful.
It is. It's lighthearted. It's got that neat music and those neat new sound effects, which carry over into some of the modern Zelda games as well. And then Twilight Princess, which I did play, but I broke it. Like I don't know if it was me or if there was a glitch in the game that I discovered. I got to a point in that game where I absolutely could not progress any farther. There was nothing. I had done everything I needed to do up to this point because I know I was because I had the book, which I gave to you, which is in there.
Right there on my shelf.
And I could not progress.
You soft locked it?
I did. I went back and was like, did I not do this thing or this one place to progress through I had done everything possible, and I checked my work, and it would not let me go through. And I was like 2/3 of the way through this monster, and I was
Great.
like out.
That's fun.
I checked out. I'd never played it again.
I don't blame you.
So if they do that, I'm going to be excited because I want to play Twilight Princess and actually try to beat it because I enjoyed the game. I just
Didn't enjoy getting stuck.
right.
Yeah.
And the other thing about Wind Waker was another little bit of a trigger for me because I am that collector guy. I like to get the stuff, you know, like Banjo-Kazooie was a great game to me, right? But
You're dead to me, Ian.
yeah. Yeah, well, I've said that before, and you said that then, I think. And here I sit.
Yeah, clearly my priorities are not in order.
So
Friends above video game opinions. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Tanya and I played Wind Waker together, and I may have mentioned this before. We played it together, and I had the book I like buying guidebooks. I think those
Yeah,
are fun,
no, I
and
like
I
them
like
too.
to because I'm not the greatest at figuring things out, and I like to progress through kind of quickly. So I'll have the guidebook.
We don't have time to fuck around for 3 days on being stuck. Yeah.
Well, this was when Wind Waker was on the GameCube, and this wasn't the HD re-release for the Wii U. This was the GameCube version. She had the guidebook and walked me through stuff as I played.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
when I beat the game, there's a thing in there that you can do where if you go through and take pictures of the monsters, the different monsters, you can take those pictures to a guy who will make a little statue of the monster for you, and then you put them in a place, and they're all, you collect them. And so we were going through and finding all the treasure in the ocean and, all that stuff. Had all the map marked off where we were going and, all that good stuff. And my youngest son, Miles, deleted my game.
Oh, no.
Because we had put it down and hadn't been playing it for a little while. We were going to get back to it. We just stopped for a little while. And Miles had the GameCube in his room, and he blew away my save.
Oh,
and
God.
I was so fucking mad.
Oh my God.
I wish he'd have wrecked my car. I at least have insurance for that, right? But of course, back then, no cloud saves, none of that shit. It was gone, and of course, and Tanya was just as disappointed as I was.
Yeah.
So we just.
She invested time in that too.
She invested a lot of time in that with me, and she hadn't done it since. I mean, I think that just went off the table when the possibility that everything we've done up to this point could be just
gone,
quickly deleted.
Yep.
So anyway, I didn't mean to go off on a Zelda tangent there.
No, man, you're all good.
I'm excited for that possibility that we're going to get those games.
That'd be very nice.
Having Wind Waker on my Switch would be, oh my
Having all
God,
that,
exciting. I would love to have that.
Because I went on a Zelda binge because I did 1, 2. I'd already beaten Link to the Past a billion times. Link's Awakening. Then I went.
That one was good. I played the
remake.
I played the remake of that for the first time on Switch, and I really liked it. It was.
I haven't played the remake yet.
It's a good game.
I stayed away from it just because
good.
it's. I don't know.
It's identical, but it's beautiful. It's so.
If it had been cheaper, I definitely would have bought it because it's like, I played the original so much that I knew that I wouldn't like the new one as much. Like it was already in my mind that it's like it's impossible.
I didn't like it as much as the Game Boy, probably just because of nostalgia, but it still was very, very good.
Sure.
I still very
good.
much
I'm glad
enjoyed
to hear that it was good.
was.
But I know the nostalgia. It's too heavy. I couldn't. That was the first game I remember staying up 24 hours and playing. There's no way a new version was going to beat that. You know what I mean?
No, you're not. I definitely wouldn't see you getting that level of excitement, or drive to play it now. But it still was a really, really good game.
Good.
I enjoyed it.
I've heard it was good, and it looked really good. I did watch some streams of it here and there, and it looked really good.
Now, I went through that one, and I don't know that I'll play it again, but I did enjoy that experience a lot. That was fun.
It's in Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages.
What's the one on the DS where you flip through the pictures, where you can
Link Between Worlds.
I started that on the DS.
That was fucking good.
It is so much fun. I got rid of my DS and stuff, so I never finished it. But that one that's another one that I would really love to see.
Now, neither of you
into
guys
there.
have brought up Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks.
I'm getting there. I have beaten both of those.
Wow.
I love Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass was very good.
Is that the one where you got 4 links?
That's 4 Swords.
Okay, I played that
I have
one.
I have not beaten 4 Swords.
I beat 4 Swords. That was
let's
fun.
get 3 more Game Boys. Let's play. Let's fucking do it.
Get a GameCube link cable. We can fucking do it.
I mean, look, I got all that. I don't have 3 other Game Boys, but I can provide some shit.
My
Oh, you mean to
GBA's
tell
in
me
there.
that Game Boy you got from him isn't Wi-Fi and Bluetooth?
I didn't even ask. I
probably
should have.
is.
I should
It's
have.
probably a hidden feature that I bet he'll never find this.
But I remember playing Oracle of Seasons and Ages and being like, this looks like Link's Awakening, but it does not feel the same. This is like I can feel the corporate money structure and not the heart that was in League.
You can feel
some
the
of those-
the
I
Capcom.
can feel like between you buying a pie at the store and your mother making you a pie. Like I feel the love is not in it.
Well, isn't it weird?
Isn't it different developers though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Capcom
Yeah.
did those too.
Okay, gotcha.
And they were fun, but I was like, man, more Link's Awakening.
How
No,
fucking
no.
weird is that Nintendo got so fucking fast and loose with that franchise,
Of
where
all
it's like
things, they
Capcom,
wouldn't let go of
fucking CDI. I mean, like, what the fuck are you doing, Nintendo?
Same like Metroid. No, Ninja Theory. Go ahead. Metroid Other M. Do it for us.
And the thing is, with
wild.
like Mario, it's like the only time they really let go of that franchise is for a sports game. Another developer,
Right.
Or
but even
Hotel
then,
Mario for the CDI.
But even God, even then, it's a little still follows a certain
Sure.
set of guidelines.
That's
versus,
their bread and butter.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
really
that's-
is. I mean, like, and you know, they don't. They let go of it for that, but for you'd think they'd be that way with Zelda too, as
Yeah.
well. I should say, just to say, you know,
Especially after Super
Not
Adventure
bad.
Island 2. Like, fuck this shit.
nope, never again.
Maybe that's why they're very uncommon. Maybe Nintendo was like, nope, too much like Zelda 2. Oh man, there's a cartridge shortage. Sorry.
we just can't put our seal of approval on this.
Yeah.
We ran out of the stickers.
Because then I played Minish Cap. That was for Game Boy Advance.
Never played that
very,
one.
Very
Heard
good.
that was a good game.
Very good. Then for DS, then I did Phantom Hourglass. I played Spirit Tracks. That was my slog. I did not.
I
like
really
Spirit
did not like
Tracks.
Spirit Tracks. I didn't like Phantom Hourglass
Fuck
either, but
me. That was like I made myself. That was the fucking book report of Zelda. It's like I made myself slog through it, and then was like, "Fuck this shit! I am never looking at
I mean,
it again."
to be honest, I really do think that those two games are probably like what really put a bad taste in my mouth for Zelda games, because I remember when I got my DS, I was like, what should I get? Zelda games. And I got both of them. And I remember playing Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass first, and being like, I'm not really feeling this. Let me try the Spirit Tracks game. And then I was like, oh fuck
Spirit
these
Tracks is
games.
so
And I just put them in the case and just like set them aside. I don't know where they are now.
Yep.
I might have traded them in for, I don't know,
Anything.
Yeah, just please take this off my hands.
Well, see, I got it both for free on my R4, so it's probably why I didn't feel as bad
You didn't
about
feel
it.
the $80 sting that I felt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Link Between Worlds, which I loved. My progress came to a grinding fucking halt with Majora's Mask. Could not make myself keep playing that
I
game.
hated that game.
Hate
I
Majora's
hated
Mask.
Majora's Mask so much, and that part of that is because I do not like feeling pressured to solve problems in a specific amount of time. I get that a lot of games have. I just think that while it was kind of brilliantly conceived of, where the moon is, crashing and all that, and you have to keep doing it, it got frustrating for me so quick. I could not do it. I just couldn't do it. And I thought, that wasn't there in Ocarina. Ocarina was just it was a Zelda game, right? It just was. And this one, they had to put a twist on it. And I felt like that, for some people,
I
that's
like
fine.
a dark twist, but man, yeah, this
Nintendo
game-
likes to do that on
Under
their
the
sequels,
circumstances,
on the system.
I would
Zelda
have
2, Mario 2.
Right. I would have liked that game. I would have liked for the time travel thing to have been done in a different way.
Yeah.
Looking up at the sky and seeing that fucking moon getting closer and closer just stressed me out. And I couldn't concentrate enough to find the things that I needed to find. And I got
And you
out
have
of
to
it
know
real
what
quick.
to do when at what times, and you have to keep
Yeah.
playing the fucking Song of Time and rewinding shit.
I
And
just couldn't do it.
getting shit all over again because you restart and lose your items. And
It was too much to keep up with. I think they could have implemented that in a different way to make it be more of the same of what I'm used to. Because a lot of the games are just, they're the same but different. You know what I mean? There's a formula. We're going to build right on that formula. Breath of the Wild is like that. And now they've added this open world concept to it, and you can do it however you want, and there's 1,000 billion things you can do. But at the end of the day, you go through the dungeons and save everybody, and then they added the shrines, which are I
love the shrines.
The shrines.
I prefer shrines over dungeons.
Absolutely, because it's like a
They're
quick,
bite-sized,
quick, satisfying solve of a puzzle.
Yeah,
or,
and get the fuck out.
And you get something
and you
out
don't
of it.
have to do all of them.
And you don't. I did, but
You don't have to.
you don't have to.
Right.
It just helps. You get more hearts that way if you want to, because you could die quick in that game, right? But anyway, yeah, I'm with you. Majora's Mask was
So
I have not played
easily my
I have
least
not played
favorite.
Zelda since Majora's Mask put up a wall for me.
Majora's Mask, is it a roguelike?
Sorta.
I mean, if
a
if you're
roguelike-like.
referring to it in the sense that you have to just keep repeating things over and over again.
I mean, you
yeah.
do, and when you get to a certain point, if you get to a certain point, you get to keep things, right? When you
I
restart?
don't remember.
If
I
it-
remember doing. I stopped trying to upgrade my sword because once you get the Master Sword, you only have so many swings before it breaks or some shit. But there's all these quests you can do to make it good and not break. And I that's where I got frustrated because I don't like the. That's why I'm hesitant to play Breath of the Wild because the stamina mechanic on
the
weapons.
durability.
It's funny
Yeah.
that you say that because, the weapon thing isn't that difficult to overcome because there are a shitload of weapons to pick up.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Yes, it's frustrating to be in the middle of a battle and have your sword break, and you've got to make sure you've got the right amount of swords and the right amount of shields, and as you've got to get these Korok seeds to increase your inventory so that you can carry more of these items.
yeah.
Because at first you can only carry like 5 swords and 5 shields, And for every so many Korok seeds that you find and turn into the guy in the Deku village or whatever I think is what it's called, you get more storage and you can carry them. At one point, you do get the Master Sword, but as you said, just like in Majora's Mask, you can only use it and then its energy depletes after you've used it. So unless you're using it against Ganon, you can use it or one of the blight forms of Ganon
Yeah.
that you fight in that game. There's like 4 of them, and then you fight 4 of these blight Ganons. And when you fight him in any form, the Master Sword can be used the whole time without. But if you use it in the overworld and you're just fighting, it runs out of energy. You have to put it back in your inventory, and then it's got a cooldown before you can use it again.
Yeah.
There is a thing that you can do. It's like a trial that you can go through
I've read about that. Yeah.
to get it to where the Master Sword is viable for longer. It's not
Oh.
perma viable, and it's like some 300 level. Like it's this. I tried it. You start out with nothing, and you have to find and use stuff. So like the very first weapon in the first trial that you can use is a stick, and I got about 10 to 15 levels into that, and I'm like, this is not fucking worth it.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I was getting at, was that the Master Sword is limited in this game as well, and except for when you really need it. At the very least, they give it to you at its full potential when you're fighting a boss,
Yeah.
like a Ganon-esque boss. But I just think it kind of sucks that you can't use it as much as you want in the overworld.
I like weapon. Yeah, I muted because I had to go fucking cough my fucking lungs out. I'm still dealing with. I feel like much better, but it's like I still have a cough, and it's
Damn.
super annoying. I like weapon durability in games, but I like it when you can repair the weapon.
That's what
you know
I would,
what I mean.
That's what I would like to
I don't
see
mind
in
it,
there. Yes,
but it's also weird because it's like it did bother me a little bit in Breath of the Wild. I really like Breath of the Wild. It bothered me a little bit, but it's like meanwhile and like Dead Rising 2, it's just like I don't care. Like I don't. It like because the weapons in that game in Dead Rising 2 were all fun to use. I felt like, and then you can combine them together, and they're like even more fun to use. But in Breath of the Wild, it was like I'm out of weapons, and fuck, I'll fight this thing with a stick, I guess.
right.
You know what I mean?
Or
It's
you'll
like-
fight like a Lionel and get his weapon, which is like this fucking axe that's 30 feet long that you can barely swing. I mean,
Right.
once you get it going, you're just fucking destroying everything in your path, but it's hard to get going. It's hard to use practically in a battle. And that's where I get frustrated. But I would find this like perfect balance of weapons that did right, as far as fighting goes. This is a good bow. This is a good sword. The shield is nice. You'd think that with the intricate cooking mechanic in that game, that you could literally craft hundreds of different recipes that have different effects, that they would have put a weapon repair option in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think they just didn't want you to.
They didn't want you to. They wanted you to get to that point where you ran out of weapons in a very tense situation and you had to fight your way out however you could.
With a stick.
With a fucking stick. Yeah.
Because I'd always like roll up on like a moblin camp or something, and then it was just like, there's just so many of them. I can't they outnumber my weapon durability. I'm gonna go through 4 fucking weapons killing these fucking moblins.
One thing I learned about those moblins, because they're tough. They can be tough, and you get them from above. You get on a cliff above them and drop bombs down on them and throw rocks at them and shit, and just try to kill as many of them from afar as you can, and it doesn't cost you anything. And then you go down and just mop up the rest, But it's not always like that. Sometimes you're just chilling, and suddenly there's 8 of these motherfuckers coming at you, and they're like white with black stripes, like the high level ones,
right?
That are hard to kill.
Yeah,
and then you're fucked. You go through all your swords and shit. And you were on your way to something.
Right, yeah.
I was geared up to go do this. Now I've got fucking nothing, and I've got to go restock. Yeah, it sucks. Anyway, welcome to the Breath of the Wild podcast, everyone.
Do you have any achievements for Super Adventure Island 2?
I have a few that came in from Twitch chat. First achievement, Island Fozzie's Place. In order to unlock Island Fozzie's Place, your pretty wife, Tina, survives her captivity on Waku Waku despite repeated jokes about poo-poo platters. That came in from Mappy 1984. And the next achievement I have is, you got any more of them apples? In order to unlock, you got any more of them apples? You beat Wispy Woods' crackhead neighbor. And that came in from Gamebug Prime Nate. So thanks, y'all. I appreciate those Chivos. Do you guys have any?
I do not.
I do. I have 2. I've got, my first one is Sean McElwain of Super Metroid fame. And you unlock that by not going to the casino. Because if you know anything about Sean McElwain, he absolutely, under any circumstances, will never gamble or take a bet or do anything ever like that.
Or do anything ever
related to gambling. Okay. He won't do it in D&D. He won't do it in a video game. He's like, nope, don't gamble. Don't do it. Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay.
And then, of course, you have the opposite. You unlock correspondent Laura Ammons by getting everything in the casino, because I've watched her
love to gamble
a lot. Yeah. Especially her favorite is roulette, which I've never heard anybody say is their favorite.
I don't know. Roulette I found through playing, what was it? Not Super Caesar's Palace, because we haven't done that one yet. Vegas Stakes, thank you. From playing Vegas Stakes, a lot of people like roulette because
you got a 50-50 shot at doubling your money.
And you can game it, essentially. Like people like to game it. So because I was with you, man, I was like, who the fuck likes roulette? Turns out a lot of people like roulette. My dad never fucked with it, but like my dad would like go to the riverboat, the casino, and play craps. And like he would come. I remember being a child and being like, Father, I'd like to place a bet, and giving him like $5 and gamble with this, because he'd always come home with fucking money because he knew how to play the odds. Craps. Yeah, I mean, so it's like sometimes he wouldn't come home with a lot, but I mean, he knew enough to like not lose his ass, kind of deal.
Well, I always wished I could play craps. I never understood the game.
Jesus Christ. When I got older, he's like, come on, let's go. And it's like, okay. And for like 2 minutes, I was like, nah, fuck no.
I don't get this.
No, I'm going to go play Texas Hold'em. You have fun.
Yeah.
I've watched Time Lord Josh Edwards be up so much, so high in Texas Hold'em when we went on that cruise. Fuck, he was so far ahead. I went and got a drink, and I came back, and it was
no. Just enough time for him to say all in and be wrong.
Yeah, I played, whenever I would play Texas Hold'em, it was essentially just, how long can I play without losing my money?
Right.
So anytime I'd go, I'd be like, well, it's been 4 hours and I'm leaving with the same amount of money that I came in with. So that's all right. Killed 4 hours.
I've never done much gambling. Of course, when I worked at the casino, I worked there for 10 years. And when
Right.
you work there, you're not allowed to gamble. You can't
That
gamble
makes
there.
sense. I could see why they
I could
had
go
that
to
policy.
another casino and gamble, but not at mine. And then I took Tanya to Vegas 1 year, and I didn't gamble. I was just around it so much. It didn't really have any. I know who's winning. In other words,
Right, sure.
But she sat down and played blackjack, and of course I helped. And there was this other guy sitting on the other side of her who was helping her. Helping her. He was flirting with her big time. But he helped her to the tune of about $800. So we won $800 that night and was like, okay, thanks, bye. And then I played some slot machines just because I wanted to. Some of them were hard to, those ones with the big video displays on them.
Yeah.
And you can match like 80 lines in a different way, but those graphics on those stinking things are so cool.
You sounded like me as a kid.
God,
with
they
the
were
game.
just beautiful. I'm like, this is like ultra high def and graphics on these things. I'm just like, man, these things are cool looking. I would
Runner in here.
I would get caught at work, like staring at people playing, and one of my coworkers would come up behind me and like, you're not supposed to do that. And they would be like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, shit, because I was IT, so I could go anywhere, and I was always out I would work midnights, and I'd go out on the floor and just watch people play and win. And one lady won. There's a game called Caribbean Stud. It's
Super Adventure Island 3.
yeah, there you go.
Caribbean Stud.
No, that's Caribbean Cuck.
Okay.
You play as the
I
king.
thought that was the second one.
Anyway, I can't remember the way the game was played. It's like poker, but it's not poker. But anyway, if you buy in,
Go fish.
you get the same type of hands as you get in poker, So if you get a royal flush and you paid ahead of time and bought into the jackpot, you win something like $32,000. A lot of money. It's
a lot of money.
It's a hell of a payout. Depending on that bank just progressively builds up and up and
Until
up
somebody wins it.
until someone wins it. And this one night, this one lady won, right? And I was up on the floor and then the fucking house just went down. It was just, people were screaming. But the only person in the room that was pissed about it was the woman who won. Because, and I was talking to the people that were cashing her out in the cage, when you win a significant amount of money at the casino,
cut off.
you have to fill out a tax form. When she filled out that tax form, that automatically made her income for the year 10 times what, it was her income times 2.
She went to a new bracket.
No more welfare. She was on welfare and got mad because she won enough money to keep her from having to be on welfare. The state wouldn't pay her welfare. And it's like, wait a minute. You were on welfare and you're here? Enjoy your winnings, man. She tried to get him to not make her fill out it's the law.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They got cops that will come.
Did she eventually do it, or did she fuck it?
Yeah, she took the money.
Yeah.
She took it, but she was mad because she knew that money was going to ruin her free money that she'd been getting.
I mean, same difference, right?
It is really, but I don't know. If you're on that welfare, maybe don't go to the casino. I don't know. None of my business. None of my business.
Well, you're right. Then you don't want to win. So why are you doing it?
You guys have any idea how much Super Adventure Island 2 for the SNES runs you loose?
Oh, I had one more achievement.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had 2.
I forgot I had a third one called Dwarven Defender. You want Dwarven Defender by blocking 50 things with your shield, just like the Dwarven Defender class were in D&D, where you have to just stand
Block
still.
50 things. yeah, you do have to stand still. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's funny.
Unless you're level 10, you can move 5 feet. That's all I got then.
How much y'all think this game is?
Well, based on what you told me,
It's very uncommon.
very uncommon.
I did give you a hint.
And a lot of people, you said you encountered people that were like, holy shit, you've also heard of this game? Because no one's heard of this game. I'm going to say it's pretty high.
Okay. What dollar value would you put on pretty high? If you were to put it,
I mean, I'd probably go into the very high territory.
Okay.
Considering that most of these tend to run in the, anywhere from $3 to $30 or whatever. I'm gonna say $100.
$100. Mm-hmm. All right, Tyler, what do you think?
My gut check went $45.
$45. Guys, actual retail value of Super Adventure Island 2 loose on average for the Super Nintendo, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $100. Add 12 and then 59 cents. $112.59.
Wow, I was close.
You were very close. It's really heartbreaking a thing about price charting. It's super neat that you can go back and see how much games were. Like, I don't know. Let's say when this podcast started, about $25.
Wow.
Yep.
So I mean, really, my logic didn't really apply here. This was everybody's collecting games logic.
This one steadily went up.
Over the course of this pandemic, where like you've said before, that everybody's doing this, and that's causing the prices to go up.
Yes, but this one was on the rise pre-pandemic.
Was it?
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
this one was on the rise.
But I mean, even $25 is a significant price, I would imagine. Wouldn't you?
I mean, at the time, for sure, yeah, just because it wasn't as, I guess, the collecting wasn't
Without,
as hot then.
I'm referring to it in terms of being without the mitigating circumstances.
Sure.
You would probably think, right now, you'd probably give that for it because it's.
Yeah, gladly. Does
Right.
anyone out there have a copy that would sell me for $25?
But back then, you might have
I'm really-
questioned it and been like, 25, maybe I'll give you 15, maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, back then.
Absolutely
So,
back then. Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna be adding that one to the collection
Be a
anytime
minute.
soon.
Be a
Yeah,
minute.
it's gonna be a later edition. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
do you have anything else that you would like to say? Do you think that this game might belong on Tadpog's top 100?
Yeah, I think
You
it
do?
should be. Yeah, I do. I think it should be. I don't like that it's a ripoff, but it's still a very fun and different game for the system. So, yeah, there are a lot of games I would take off IGN's top 100 and
replace with this?
Replace with this.
I'm with that. I can agree with that for sure. I could see this being in like the 70s or 80s
I could
kind
see
of deal.
that. I could see this highest being the 70s. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We need to remember that when we put the list together. We
Yep.
won't.
you definitely
Somebody
won't.
will.
Yes, somebody will. You are right.
Somebody could just go ahead and collect all these things we say about where we'd put them, and then in 10 more years, play them back for us.
Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would that be?
I would give this the beard. It's a Trailer Park Boys beard. So
Okay.
there's a character named Jacob who looks up to Julian, so he starts dressing just like Julian.
Okay.
Julian is the character who always has a glass of liquor in his hand.
Okay.
In every scene throughout the entire series, however long it's been on, you don't see Julian without. And I had the kind of glass in my house of liquor in his hand. He wears jeans, a black T-shirt, and has the liquor glass. And he has a goatee. So I give it the goatee of Jacob pretending to be Julian from Trailer Park Boys.
Because Master Higgins is pretending to be Zelda or Link and or Mario.
Yep.
All right, gotcha. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, sums up how you feel about it.
The rockin' shades of Mike Jones from Star
Mike
Aerobics.
Jones. All right.
Which is also very similar to Zelda.
Hit me up on the low because Mike Jones about to blow. Nice. Okay. Yeah, for sure, man. Star